So far 2017 has been an absolutely phenomenal year for horror. We have astonishing indie gems raw and it comes at night, brilliant box office busting political satire horror, get out a studio sequel that is far scarier than it has any business being with Annabelle creation, and of course there's It, which floated up from the sewers to break a whole bunch of box office records, including scoring the highest opening weekend for a horror movie ever. Advertisement continue Reading Bellow outside horror, though it's been a bit of a sketchy year, with big disappointments for several summer tentpoles, Wonder Woman is the exception. But even though most people admit that the best horror movies can be intelligent, funny, political, groundbreaking, entertaining and fun for all the family, okay, most of the family, while also bringing in a heap of money, somehow studios are still reluctant to treat them like blockbusters. Copyright New Line Cinema worth the success of it, however, that might just be about to change. It has been treated much more like a blockbuster in its marketing and lead up to release than any other horror we can remember, and it seems to have paid off. While it is still a low-budget movie made for around $35 million, it neither looks nor feels like one. You can watch it in IMAX, for example. The Alamo Drafthouse did a clowns-only screening of it, thereby making the film into an event, as it did with Wonder Woman. The star of the movie, Bill Skarsgård, a relatively unknown actor doing good but fairly low-profile work, appeared on big-ticket American talk shows Conan and Jimmy Kimmel. Websites are filled with articles about the man behind the clown. He seems to have become the internet's new boyfriend almost overnight in a way that is most reminiscent of Tom Hiddleston's star rise after his appearance as Loki in Avengers Assemble, and remember, had already done Thor by then. Advertisement continue Reading Below copyright Getty Images. None of this is accidental. While studios sometimes treat horror movies like dirty secrets, refusing to screen them to critics ahead of release, limiting the theatrical run, keeping publicity low-key, or hiding the horror light under a psychological thriller bushel, it screened wide and early and never claimed to be anything but a horror. But then, weirdly, when you watch it, it's actually not as scary as all that. It's a sheep in clown's clothing, if you like. Not so scary that people will be traumatized, not subversive, disgusting or controversial. It is a wonderful ghost train, a movie which promises to be a scary clown film, and is really a mainstream coming-of-age tale which understands how much horror non-horror fans can cope with. It's as concerned with character, story, subtext, and emotional resonance as it is actual scares, and therefore why isn't alienating to the uninitiated. If you've read the book and seen the 90s miniseries, great, you'll be happy. If you haven't, great, you'll be happy. The only group of people who seem to be unhappy are some horror fans who were expecting to be scared and weren't, and even most of those still admit it's a very enjoyable film. Copyright Warner Brothers. This is reminiscent of how Marvel moved comic book movies into the mainstream. Such movies were already massive after X-Men, Spider-Man and Nolan's Batman. But the start of the MCU made it clear that they weren't niche genre anymore, but were the mainstream. What was once geek culture now belonged to everyone.